minute. It tells you something about the way they play and the dominance of Kilkenny.
And all them scores there come from Johnny Dooley, who's out midfield.
3 scores for Johnny Dooley, 2 from frees, 1 from play. It's not going right for Offaly. They're not playing well. And they could be in further trouble here. Michael Bond's team 7 points behind. Brian Wheelahan, can he be the one to inspire them? We all think back, I suppose, to that time in the 1998 All-Ireland final when he came up and scored a goal and 6 points. More substitutes being prepared. Colin Cassidy, the one who's going through the warming-up routine. The team doctor, who was Brendan Lee, has been attending to Gary Hannafy. Sub not required just yet. Offaly need to land some scores in the remaining few minutes of this first half to give themselves some hope. Brian Wheelahan. In towards Hannafy it comes. Gary Hannafy's shot. It's on target.
Brian Whelan used his head there. He picked out Gary Hannafy. Kilkenny back to back. They just didn't pick him up after coming back from injury. He picked out him a lovely ball and over the bar.
Hannafy is now, as you'll gather, playing at full forward. John Troy has gone out onto the 40 to try and stem the tide because, quite frankly, Eamon Kennedy has been gathering up everything there. He's been mopping up the ball.
Also as well, Johnny Dooley's gone wing forward and Pilkin has gone midfield.
Kevin Martin out towards Johnny Dooley. Kilkenny have it back again. There's Eamon Kennedy. Hubert Rigney playing in the corner this year. In earlier times you remember him as a very fine centre-half back. DJ Carey, it's blocked. Johnny Pilkington back towards Kevin Keedahan. Late stages of this first half. There'll be 3 minutes of added time. A little bit of jostling and pushing and shoving out of picture as James McGarry comes to take this. The jostling and the shoving involved Gary Hannafy and Noel Hickey. Nothing serious. Shefflin now on the 40. Andy Comerford. Canis Brennan towards Charlie Carter. Decent shot by Charlie Carter. He's a wonderful hurler. 4 points. And it's 11 points to 4. And Kilkenny are well and truly in charge of this match.
It's the wonderful forward line that's on top at the moment. Any chance he's got, he's put it over.
Well, just to avoid the confusion which does happen on occasions between football and hurling, whoever loses here today, there is no back door. Scoring chances so far, Kilkenny with 17, Offaly with just 9. Kennedy once again, sweeping up everything. Shefflin trying to get it onto a stick. Hubert Rigney coming out here. Dennis Byrne playing it outside there towards Canis Brennan. Canis towards Charlie Carter. Missed completely by Martin. On it comes here towards the fresh man in. And here's a goal chance, and it has to be. And it is. Henry Shefflin.
Beautiful move out there. Beautiful move. 1, 2, 3. Top class hurling. Passed it around the pitch, threw it around. You won't see a better goal than that.
It's turning into a rout, and we haven't even reached half time. Kilkenny, who beat Offaly by 11 points in the Leinster final, 13 points in the All-Ireland final, now have a very comfortable lead. Henry Shefflin's goal after 35 minutes. Pressure again on here. Eamon Kennedy. And that's Ger Oakley in there. The margin, 10 points. Referee going to throw this one in. Ger Oakley involved there with Eamon Kennedy. Appeals all about. and it's going to be Kilkenny's ball.
That last goal, Ger, by Kilkenny. Beautiful hand pass from Charlie into Eddie Brennan, and Brennan didn't go for himself. He placed Shefflin with a lovely ball.
That's full credit to Eddie Brennan for locating Shefflin. The rest seemed easy at that stage. Well, goalkeeper Stephen Byrne must dread the sight of these Kilkenny forwards like DJ here.
Nothing they could do about that, though, Ger.
Nope. Totally exposed. No chance the keeper of keeping that one out. Pilkington. Once again it's Kennedy. Like a magnet. Everything is coming to it. It's just good positioning, good play. One-handed forward this time by John Hoyne. Again there's pressure, and there's another one, and it's Eddie Brennan.
Speedy Eddie. They don't call him that for nothing. Hubert Rigney made a mistake and he was onto it like a flash. Brown ball.
2 goals in 2 minutes. He made the first one with the pass selflessly into the path of Henry Shefflin. And this time when there was a fumble Hubert Rigney put into difficulty, Brennan was there to pounce. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Is there any way back whatsoever for Offaly? Hard to see it at this stage. You never know. Pilkington has a great heart. It runs all the way through to James McGarry. Well, there will be strong words, I'm sure, spoken in the Offaly dressing room at half-time. 4 points is all they've been able to muster for 37, nearly 38 minutes of hurling. It's very, very poor fare on their part. But as I say it, Brendan Murphy nips in with his first point of the afternoon. 2-11 to 5 points. Well, the referee indicated there would be up to 3 minutes of added time. Doesn't have to be exactly 3 minutes. And in any case, he has whistled. A thoroughly satisfactory job done by the All-Ireland champions. Their old rivals, Offaly, very much playing in 4th gear. They haven't been able to master Brian Cody's men. They may have had a layoff for quite a number of weeks through injuries right over the winter and into the autumn, into the spring and so on. But here in the summer, they have come good once again. 2 goals by Henry Shefflin and by Eddie Brennan, and it looks really good for the Cats. Let's go down at half-time as the scoreline reads.
Yeah, DJ, as a minor in 1988, would you believe? He's matured a lot since. So if Kilkenny, the way they're playing today, I can tell you, any hope back, Michael?
It's a long, long way back. Brian Whelan will probably get the customer move up to the forward line now.
He seems to have gone up there beside John Troy.
Looks like it, yeah. But he'll bring a bit of pace into it. You know, he hasn't really been in the game as wing back anyway. So, and John Hine hasn't been much of a threat. So Colin Cassidy will probably go in there. So, you know, after you'll be looking for miracles. Yeah,
Johnny Pilkington was involved in the car accident on Friday evening. So possibly a bit shook after all that.
Yeah, I think so. Johnny is a very, very tough customer, and you know, shrugged it off from what I believe. The car was right off, and fairly bad accident, and Johnny shrugs it off in his own normal way, but it had to have an effect on him, and he looks to be completely out of the game. Johnny has a great heart. Even when things aren't going well for Offaly, Johnny will score his 3 or 4 points and be involved in everything, and he's just not himself, and that impacts, you know, on players around. There's a lot of young board players around who would look up to Johnny, and he's not providing the leadership today.
Yeah, well, Offaly waiting for Kilkenny, who still haven't come out for that second half, and I'm sure people like Johnny Pilkington that we're looking at here, Tomas Mulcahy, will be wondering what is the way back for them, if there is a way back.
It's going to be very difficult, Michael, based on the form of Kilkenny in the first half period. You would hope that maybe Offaly would get maybe a goal kind of at the start of the second half and give them a bit of confidence to go on. Hopefully they won't let the heads drop, you know, that they'll keep fighting to the end, and I'm sure in the dressing room at half-time, Michael Bond has stressed that point. Like, they're playing for a lot of pride themselves, in themselves personally, and I know they're playing for the pride of the county, but themselves individually. They've taken 2 bad hammerings against Kilkenny last year. They don't want to let this happen again today, and I mean, if they're going to give themselves a chance to get into in the second half, they're going to have to take the game now to Kilkenny. But again, switching Brian Whelan up maybe up to half, up to the forward line, does it leave gaps at the back then for Kilkenny maybe to exploit again and put in another 2 or 3 goals, and that will really kill the game off.
We thought for a while maybe Kilkenny thought they'd done enough and gone home, but they have actually emerged out for the second half of this Leinster semi-final. By the way, don't forget our Sunday game later on tonight, in which we will feature that Munster Hurling Championship semi-final between Limerick and Waterford, and I can tell you that was a bit special. Look out for that tonight. However, for the moment, it's back to Croke Park.
Yeah, and Offaly or Kilkenny kept Offaly waiting about 5 minutes out in the field before returning. Kilkenny were perfectly entitled to do that. Michael Wadding getting the second half underway. 12 points between them, which is the average score that Kilkenny has beaten Offaly in the last 2 meetings. Brian Wheelhead up around the full forward area at this stage. And as you saw the change there, Joe Brady coming in at wing back in place of Wheelhead, and the player who went off was Ger Oakley. Gary Hannafy here, the tall man. They need a good start. That's not a good start.
Interesting to see how Brian Whelan gets on full forward. He's often done it before. It's a lot to ask him in the game, but he is a great player.
1-6, of course, in that All-Ireland final 3 years ago. James McGarry to pluck this one out. To make a match of it, Offaly have got to get going smartly and quickly. Out by Brady. Comes out towards Johnny Pilkington. And again, it is Eamon Kennedy driving it way down. Stopped by Stephen Byrne this time. Offaly rocked by those 2 goals just before half-time. Out to Hubert Rigney, this one comes. Eamon Kennedy. Pilkington batting it away to Johnny Dooley. If anybody can do it for them, it's Dooley. That's 4 points he scored.
Great score there, just one touch into his hand. Should have been clear by the Kilkenny defence. Messed around with the ball, but once Johnny got it, out thinking, hand up and straight over the bar.
Such a stylish player. Match today being played in front of an attendance of 45,700. Good crowd. Here's Shefflin, being reunited with his green helmet. To Comerford, 45 metres from the target. And that's over the bar. First point for Andy Comerford. Really, it's a case of economy of movement, but great skill at the end of it all. Just a hand pass by Shefflin out to Andy Comerford. Beats the block by Barry Wheelahan. Great score. Offaly just need goals, and lots of them. Kennedy. He's clearing everything. Down towards DJ Carey and Charlie Carter's corner. DJ not at his sharpest by any manner of means today. Hasn't been able to do the required amount of training, I think, in recent months. And that was Wheelahan who was fouled, coming out with it there. It's a new midfield, by the way, for Offaly for the second half. They have Barry Wheelahan now linking up with Brendan Murphy. Drop down here towards Rory Hannafy. First chance to get a score here, and he's got it. He's done well.
First time he actually beat JJ Delaney, stuck it over the bar. They need a bit more of that. Offaly wants to put a bit of life into their game and get the crowd behind them.
Rory Hannafy, who had been full forward for the Offaly minor team that won a Leinster some time ago. That's beautifully taken here. Barry Wheelahan. Up towards Rory Hannafy, who's taken loads of steps. Still going. They chase after him. JJ Delaney trying to close down the space afforded to him, and he has fouled him, and it's a free in. Johnny Dooley to try and take a point here and to eat further into Kilkenny's lead. Well, we have the right corner forward, left corner back. Forward did well to get the free, and Johnny Dooley has done even better to put it over the bar. It is his 5th point of the match, and it's 2-8, 2-12 rather, 2-8 points.
Johnny won't miss him, but what the game really needs this moment here is a goal for Offaly.
The Offaly fans trying to G up their team. Brendan Murphy under pressure. Barry Wheelahan comes out to Gary Hannafy. Brighter now by the faithful county. Michael Kavanagh loses it. Here comes Brian Wheelahan, now playing up in the forwards. The hand pass to John Troy. They need scores. Belting it in, and he's put it wide. There was good vision on the part of Brian Wheelahan to see that he had a player in a better situation, John Troy, but he was 20 metres out when he struck that one, and it was always going to the left of the goal.
As soon as Whelan got onto the ball, there was a buzz around the crowd.
Troy is centre half forward. Brian Wheelahan is full forward. Andy Comerford misses. Brendan Murphy driving it through. It's won here by JJ Delaney. He's had a very impressive championship debut. Great catch. Nicely taken. Brennan coming again. Oh, off the goalkeeper. And it's gone out for a 65. But Eddie Brennan is a very impressive corner forward. I remember seeing him in a league match some time ago in Perlis, where he absolutely roasted the tip corner back. And today, any possession he's getting, he's doing well with it.
Yeah, Jerry, he's very, very fast. Last year he was a great white hope in Kilkenny. Played against Dublin in the first game and didn't appear until the All-Ireland final as a sub and got his customary goal.
Eamon Kennedy's going to strike this one. Eamon from Donegal. Stopped. Good work by goalkeeper Stephen Byrne. Hitting onto it there was Joe Brady, who came on in the first half number for at least about a minute as a blood substitute. Out it goes to Rory Hannafy, the man from Burr, taking it beyond Delaney. Offaly needing scores, trying to feed it into another Burr man. Brian Whelan trying to roll it up. He comes out towards John Troy. Neat skill, good balance, excellent delivery, and he puts it over the bar. This is what the people have paid their money in to see. A match. It's turning into a far better contest. Whelan couldn't hold it, but in the end, enough was done to get it out as far as the waiting John Troy. Good stick work, good finish. 2-12 to 9 points. There's still a lot to do. Brendan Murphy, sideline ball to Kilkenny.
At the moment there as well, when Rory Hannafy gets the ball, he seems to have the pace to work on young Delaney. He's very, very fast. But Delaney's playing well as well.
This is Peter Barry. Cuts it up towards Andy Comerford. Barry Wheelahan trying to take it away there. Out as far as John Troy. Lovely pick-up. On beyond Pilkington this time. Hickey is back there to mind the house. Ooh, James McGarry's got a bit of work to do to get this one out. There's support, however. And it's well away in the end by Delaney. Referee saw a foul there. It's by Canis Brennan, and it's on Brendan Murphy, and it's going to be a free in to Offaly.
Slowly but surely, Ger, Offaly are clawing their way back in. There is a nice little breeze down there, and if Johnny Dooley pops this over, they're back in the game.
This is 60 metres out. Low trajectory this time. They go for the goal, perhaps. Good covering work by the Kilkenny backs. Hannafy. That's Gary Hannafy outside to Johnny Dooley. At the second time of asking, he puts it wide. They could have done with that.
They could have, Ger. Doesn't usually miss them as such. Maybe he should have tapped that ball over the bar, but they are coming into the game.
Even though we said earlier that it would be nice from their point of view if they were able to get a goal or so to make a better contest on it, they don't need to go for goals this early.
There's a lot of time left.
Barry Wheelahan. Henry Shefflin. Rocky period at this stage for Kilkenny, but they are very much the masters. They've got, after all, a handsome lead. And Johnny Pilkington is fouled this time by Philly Larkin. And they size up to one another just for a moment, still doing so. Oops, here we go.
They're foolish men, Ger. There's no need to do that. There'll be 2 more yellow cards now.
Well, if Michael Wadding is going to be consistent, there will have to be 2 yellow cards, and Brian Wheelahan there having a look at Noel Hickey, shall we say, with intent, and it's still not finished.
James McGarry going to watch his goal because Johnny could go for this, even from a long way out.
Well, McElwadding will want to restore order. We know their neighbours and rivals. We know the recent history, having featured in All-Ireland finals and Leinster finals, and there are yellow cards there, and Johnny Pilkington has one, and the other is Philly Larkin. All a bit ridiculous. 3 to Offaly. That's over.
All of a sudden there's no ball at all going into the Kilkenny full forward line. They'll probably come out deep, looking for nothing going through at the moment.
We talk Sunday after Sunday about the prize being great, but there is no backdoor for Offaly this time. If they lose, that's it. They're out. Same for Kilkenny. One-handed away. John Troy hammering it into the forward line. Kavanagh can't pick it up first time. Here's Canis Brennan against Brendan Murphy. Good hurling. Inside to Pilkington. Has the chance of a score. Blocked down well by Michael Kavanagh. And in the end, it's Eamon Kennedy once again. He's had a terrific match. DJ Carey hasn't seen too much of the action. Oh, there's a blow there. And Keenahan has been called aside by the referee, and Charlie Carter is shaping up to him. And this is most unlike the battles we've seen in the past here between Offaly and Kilkenny.
If they're not careful, Ger, someone is going to get the line, because the referee's going to lose his patience.
The referee has already booked a total of 6 players. Keenahan becomes the 7th, and the question now is the colour of the card. It's going to be yellow, I think. This is what was happening there, as DJ Carey is coming onto this, and he went down. What did you make of that? Oh, that's where he got him. That's where he got him. It was a bit deceptive because DJ played on a little bit and then realised he couldn't any further. Henry Shefflin taking this free. And that is a goal and 2 points now for Henry Shefflin.
Jerry, you're going to find that the next player that misbehaves will probably be sent off, no matter who he is, because the game, he just has to control the game.
9 points separating these teams. Kilkenny leading. Dooley. Flicked ahead there by Joe Brady. This section of the ground here not open for business this afternoon, but still a very good crowd, as we told you, over 45,000 here. I gather it will be open next Sunday when the Dubs will be in action against Offaly in football. It's a fantastic scene, a wonderful panoramic view here on a gloriously sunny day. Slight breeze behind Offaly. Trailing, needing scores. Pilkington outside to John Troy. Here's a chance. He's put it over.
For a second, Gerard thought he was going to go for a goal, but he took the safer option, tapped it over the bar. Usual ball by Johnny Pilkington.
Yeah, there's a lovely bit of skill here by Pilkington. Good vision to spot John Troy in space. Might have had a goal. He's now scored 2 points in this game. McGarry tucking it away out to the right half forward position. Barry Wheelahan's over there, helping out the wing back. This is Simon Wheelahan. Under intense pressure, Charlie Carter's about 2-13 to 11 points. Shefflin trying to drag it forward. Still opportunities here. Eddie Brennan was coming into it, and that is going to be a free in.
Kilkenny are always hitting back, they're getting them frees, making the scores, like Eddie Brennan, very, very fast. He's been fouled a lot. This will be tapped over again by Shefflin.
Yes, all they need to do now is keep on creating the chances, the opportunities, as Kilkenny think about a change. Shefflin to hit this, and he drives it high up over hill 16, probably out of the ground. That is 1-3 now for Henry Shefflin, which is pretty reminiscent of the score he has got in the past. Brian McAvoy is the player they're thinking about bringing into the action. Well, he's had a wonderful recent couple of years with Kilkenny. Excellent midfield star. And it's going to be Canis Brennan who will come in. And it's strange in a way how history repeats itself. Brian started last year's All-Ireland final against Offaly, had to go off early on with an injury, replaced by Canis then, and now it's the other way around. Stephen Byrne. Huge one up towards Gary Hannafy. He's beaten Philly Larkin to it. Kennedy's next in with the challenge. And that has gone wide.
He had a lot more time there than he thought, because Kennedy had actually fallen back. He could have just settled on it.
Well, 15 minutes into the second half, and Offaly are getting their chances. And if they can get to, say, within 6 points of Kilkenny, who knows? Solidly dispatched by the goalkeeper down towards the centre half forward, who is Henry Shefflin at this stage. Some wild pulling, Joe Erity, I think, being blown up for that one, and the referee indicating it's going to be a free to Kilkenny.
Yeah, Gerard, other players wouldn't want to start coming in. There's supposed to be a rule, the GA, that if you come in with the schmozzles on, you're the one that's going to be booked in. They're all doing that today.
Well, this is a very definite directive given to all referees, and it's a case of if two guys have a little row, let them get on with it. Nobody else joins in. Here's Shefflin. That's on target again. Another point for Kilkenny. And now another one for Henry Shefflin. He's got a goal and 4 points today. Well, the next 5 or 6 minutes, I feel, are going to be very, very important here from an Offaly point of view. If they cannot close the gap then, it's hard to see how they can do it in the remaining 10. But then, you know Offaly. Away by Erity. In towards Brian Wheelahan. And that is Eamon Kennedy once again. Erity. Other centre half back. Johnny Dooley. Good ball inside there. Pilkington was trying to make it his. Instead it's James McGarry's. Great clearance under pressure. Kevin Martin on his left-hand side, back in once again towards Pilkington, who's now in and around the forward line, along with Brian Wheelahan. But it's Noel Hickey from Dunnamagan in County Kilkenny, out by Keenahan, only as far as the Dodger himself, DJ Carey. Good ball inside to Charlie Carter, trying to round Simon Wheelahan. Had a great first half, and this is another one for Charlie Carter. It's his first point of the second half. It's his fifth in all. He's having a wonderful game. Some few chances coming his way in a way. He's got 5 chances, and 5 times he's struck the target. That just shows you how wonderfully well this man is playing.
Goes back to his left there. It was a fantastic hand pass by DJ, about 30 yards long.
Here comes Peter Barry. Resolute at left half back. John Hoyne angling this one. Back there is Kevin Martin. Broken down here to Brian McAvoy. First touch in this game, in towards DJ Carey. Up for it he goes. Comes down towards Eddie Brennan. Little snapshot and he's put it over the bar. That's wonderful play by Eddie Brennan there once again, and he's made it 2-17 to 11 points. And you know, when we come to start thinking about man of the match later on, from limited appearance on the field today, this man has got a goal and a point, and he's made another goal.
Yes, Gerard, what he's really trying to do is trying to say to Brian Cody, I should be on the first 15.
He's making a decent case. Hannafy at centre half forward here against Eamon Kennedy. Great pass outside. And that is dropped in and dropped over the bar, and it's by the man who's come into the game here, Colin Cassidy, the substitute. It's his first point. He came in as a sub recently for John Troy. Hannafy fed him the pass, and Cassidy, who's had some championship experience, really got a point they needed. Pressure on Philly Larkin. He copes well. Inside towards DJ Carey, but this is Keenan's. Up towards Rory Hannafy this time. Johnny Dooley was about. Got a clip on the legs as well. And the referee is deciding to award a free in to Offaly.
Come on.
They need everything. There's only 15 minutes left in this match.
Yeah, Joe, but Johnny will tap this over, so if he just try to keep tapping it back, that'll bring them back to 10 points again.
We live in an optimistic world. We have to, where sport's concerned. Johnny Dooley's got 7 points in all. But the others need to contribute more handsomely for these Offaly fans to be pleased. And this manager here, Michael Bond. They get it back again. Once more, it's Joe Brady. There was some fouling by J.J. Delaney. The man he fouled was his marker, Rory Hannafy. Another free. So a chance to crawl back into this game. No time to waste. Johnny composing himself, waiting for the whistle. And that's another 8 points for Dooley.
He's a beautiful six-man, Ger. Any young lad looking for an idol as such, or how to take frees, you could do worse than copy this fella.
He's taken 6 frees so far. He's scored each and every one of them. Kilkenny fans now seeing their team maybe having a little bit of a wobbly period, and they want to get behind them. Offaly fans roaring on Joe Erity and the rest. Towards Rory Hannafy. Is there another score coming up here? That has gone wide. Under a bit of pressure from J.J. Delaney. J.J. from the Fenians club in Johnstown. Brian Cody pacing up and down the line. Whoever wins here is guaranteed at least an All-Ireland quarter-final place. It's a Leinster final, of course, coming up in a few weeks' time, which will be against Wexford, who beat Leith. Henry Shefflin racing through and powering his shot over the crossbar. A goal and 5 points now for Henry.
They needed that, Ger, again, just to kind of, to keep them that little, push them that a bit further, a bit ahead. Little sensible knees coming around the crowd.
Well, the average of 12 points between these teams in recent years looks like being maintained once again here. Johnny Dooley can't take it up. It's a roll by Barry. Out here to another Barry, but this time it's Barry Wheelahan. Pilkington reaching out for it. Philly Larkin's there as well. And it won't come up for Andy Comerford. First time under pressure from Barry Wheelahan. Comerford hand passing it back there to Michael Kavanagh. Hickey was high up into the air, came down very awkwardly, injured himself in the process. That's Noel Hickey, who's had a very solid game at full forward this afternoon. A number of players have been tried on him. Bill Cudahy is in to attend to the injured player. Probably a bit winded because he went high up in there, came down terribly awkwardly on his back. Mention of injuries, we should send our best wishes to John Lahey down in RT Hospital in Waterford, who was operated on during the week. Injured, of course, in our live match last Sunday down in Cork. Hope to see him back very, very quickly.
So the Kilkenny selectors are happy with Noel Hickey. He's playing quite well. That ball should have been cleared before that.
Pressure on once again, and it's whipped away. And look where DJ Carey has come, out around his own half-back line. Kevin Keenan has stayed way back, nobody to mark right now. And quite clearly, DJ is not match fit by any manner of means, but if they get through this one, he'll have a few weeks to go before the Leinster final. It would have been given a tremendous psychological advantage to Offaly had the selectors decided that DJ wasn't fit to play. Philly Larkin. towards Eddie Brennan. Stephen Graham is being sprung by the Kilkenny selectors, and Dennis Byrne is the one who's been taken off. Played most of last year's championship, Stephen Graham. Strapping lad, has been playing in the half-forward line.
Would be seen as a natural successor to John Power as a centre forward as such down in Kilkenny.
Hard act to follow. Here comes Graham. In towards Eddie Brennan it runs this time. Hubert Rigney with the problems. Needing support. Charlie Carter. Can he get another? Maybe the supplier this time. Into Hoyne. That's it.
Great cross ball and a great goal. Again, Charlie has got a lovely ball across. There might have been a little nudge in the Offaly back there. Maybe Stephen Byrne was complaining for a free out, but that's that now, Ger.
26 minutes into the second half. Offaly realise this game is now beyond them. Charlie Carter, the provider here, having scored 5 points already, and it's John Hoyne who's in at the finish. And once he collected, it was quite straightforward. Eamon Kennedy blocked down there by Hannafy. Noel Hickey going back here, pursued by Brian Wheelahan. Andy Comerford was injured by Johnny Dooley. He got his clearance in. Johnny realised he made contact. No argument from Andy. Once again it's blocked down here. Comes out to Andy Comerford. Just a question to you, Cyril, about the matches we've seen in the last couple of weeks. We've seen 2 matches down in Cork in the Munster Championship, and this one here, the semi-final this afternoon. What do you perceive to be the main difference? Because it was helter-skelter in Cork, quite honestly, between fairly evenly matched teams.
Yeah, when you're down in Munster, they let the ball go. A lot of physical stuff, real hard stuff. Kilkenny play every ball, same with Offaly, very crafty. They take up most of the ball and play it around. But like in Munster, skin and hair.
Well, here comes DJ, little dodge inside. Shefflin over the bar. That's now 1-6 for Henry Shefflin.
If Offaly aren't careful here, they could be right, because Kilkenny subs are on and they're all eager to show Brian Cody that they're good enough to start.
It was a smashing pass by DJ Carey to Henry Shefflin. Beat the block of Keenan, put it over the bar. And there is another substitution. Derek Ling is coming in and Peter Barry is going off. So on comes Derek Ling in place of Peter Barry, as we mentioned. But really, I think it's just a case of giving some of the substitutes some championship experience. That's how much Kilkenny are on top, and have been on top for so long. Brendan Murphy. Oh, it's a great save by McGarry. And he gets there the second time as well. They drive in here. McGarry makes a third save out as far as Noel Hickey. Towards Andy Comerford. Brian McAvoy being roared on by the crowd. The Kilkenny followers are loving this. They can never beat Offaly often enough, they feel. And that's over by Charlie Carter. 6 points for Charlie.
Charlie's going to remember this one, Jerry's having a great game. And that was on his right-hand side. Most people say he's only a left, but that time he tried to show them things both sides.
I mean, we've admired Offaly so many times in major championship matches. Let's be quite honest about it. They are being destroyed this afternoon. Absolutely taken apart. And even when they get in for a chance, McGarry's at the other end to make 3 saves. Comerford. Down towards Charlie Carter. Simon Wheelahan winning the race for possession here. And still they chase after him, even though they've got this huge lead. Third man tackle coming in by Andy Comerford. 3 to Offaly. 6 minutes left or thereabouts.
fair to Simon Whelan, Jerry's still carrying the fight. He's on Charlie is very good, and Simon is still driving forward. This stage Charlie is ambling around midfield.
Joe Erity will strike this. Just puts it over the bar. On the Richter scale of cheering, it merits about 0.1. Well, it appears that Henry Shefflin is going to be replaced as the changes keep on going, and in fact it's Charlie Carter is going off. Jimmy Coogan is on. Let's just clarify this and have a little look around. It's Charlie Carter, in fact, who's gone off the team, not Henry Shefflin.
Yeah, well, he figures Charlie is enough done for today.
Pilkington beaten by Kennedy. Comes back here once again to Rory Hannafy. They can't get through. An almost impregnable half-back line that Kilkenny possess. It's a great clearance out there by Derek Ling.
Go, Kenny, go, Kenny!
Slightly off balance, but still the shot doesn't trouble James McGarry. So now we're looking at a traditional old final between Kilkenny and Wexford. And when you think that in the 1970s they made it each and every one of the 10 finals during that decade, and then Offaly came along, but right now they are being taken asunder. And it's Eddie Brennan who's got a goal and 2 points.
Playing very well, Jerry. He's very, very sharp. Again, that ball could have been cleared, blocked it down and got over left to right. He's shown his pace, and he's really, like, you know, he's going to be expecting to be on the next step.
He'll certainly hope so. Even though it's not going to be Offaly's day, we have to pay tribute to them for coming from a very small base and giving us so many memorable matches over the years. Here comes Brendan Murphy, and that's put over the bar. That's a second point. Started in the corner, then out around midfield. "14 points between the teams. Time almost up. Erity can't hold this one. Eddie Brennan again, kicking it ahead towards Stephen Graham. That's gone wide. Kilkenny are simply in a different league. Last year it was difficult to see any team coming close to the meeting.
The problem for other teams, Jerry, is that they're going to improve from this. This was their day that they'd be afraid of themselves.
This was their most vulnerable match, perhaps. But you never know. Here's Johnny Dooley. Go for a goal this time. He blazes it over the bar instead. 3 minutes of added time will be added on to the 70. That's his 9th point. He's very disappointed with himself. You know, the fact of the matter is, Cyril, if Michael Dignan is sitting back in studio and Joe Dooley were still available, they probably would be out there.
They probably would, because like in Offaly, they don't really drop players as such, like they use what they have.
They just die, do they?
Well, I don't.
Or die away. Kilkenny, 34 scoring chances. Offaly, surprisingly, had 32 scoring chances. That's Joe Brady hitting that one ahead. Brian Whelan on there for Johnny Dooley. Good ball across. Oof. Chance was there just for a moment or so, it seemed, for Colm Cassidy, and that's going to be a 65.
At this stage, though, Jerry, it's more or less going through the motions. Kilkenny have taken a foot off the pedal.
They've done enough. They had enough done at half-time, quite frankly, when they led by 2-11 to 5 points. And now they've got this huge lead. Erity dropping it in. A late goal, perhaps. They'll have to settle for a point. And that's put over by Rory Hannafy, his second point of this match. 30 points to 18. That figure 12 comes back into the reckoning once again. Brian Cody's team beating Joe Erity's Offaly by an average of 12 for now the third match in just over 12 months. Kennedy. He's been a colossus at centre half back. Knocked back by Joe Brady once again, the second half substitute. Philly Larkin coming out to meet it. Do you realistically see anybody beating Kilkenny this year?
Oh, it is a tip Kilkenny All-Ireland final. You know, anything could happen. Like
Neighbours,
yep. Yeah.
But to mention Galway, of course.
They're a long way off yet now. Didn't come out yet a block.
And at least one other team in Munster will have a major say in all of this, I'm sure.
Yeah, like if Limerick got through, I don't know what the result was today, but if Limerick got through, they'll fancy themselves as well.
Plenty of hurling still to be played. JJ Delaney, he'll be delighted with his first match here in Croke Park in the Leinster Championship, the Guinness Leinster Hurling Championship. There's still about another 2 minutes of play to go. Although I'm sure that Offaly would wish that there was a little bit of mercy and they were taken out of their agony at this stage.
At this stage, they're just going through the formalities, Gerard, such the game is over.
We thought it was over at half-time, but when John Hoyne put in that goal after 26 minutes of the second half, that was it. Curtains, goodbye, good night.
Big change there from the Munster games.
So that's a free to Kilkenny. Well, Wexford have got through in the other match against Laois. It wasn't a very impressive performance by them. And it's very difficult to see Kilkenny being beaten here in Leinster this year.
They'll be hot favourites, sure, but the only thing is Wexford will rise to Kilkenny and have to win the play them, and anything can happen, but they will be hot favourites.
Gary Hannafy.
Go ahead, hand it out.
That's Hickey once again, Noel Hickey, driving it down towards Stephen Graham. What a very talented bunch of players that Brian Cody has got at his disposal. Not just the opening 15, but you can bring on 5 or 6 more guys who have an awful lot going for them. Here's Andy Comerford. Good combined play, lovely skill. Knocked away downfield there superbly by Derek Ling. DJ Carey. Mercifully, the referee decides to end this contest in the Guinness Leinster Hurling Champions. There was really only one team ever likely to win this from a long way back. DJ Carey not at his fittest, lacking in match sharpness, but he still managed to contribute. And overall, with players like Eamon Kennedy and a superb half-back line, they were always the masters. They've won this by 12 points. It's Kilkenny 3-21, Offaly 18 points.
That was last Sunday, and today's game was expected to be no different. Commentary on the match is by Jim Carney.
Kieran